Hey guys, it's Dom from mobiledom.co.uk, and today I have another rant for you. This time it's a Blackberry rant, and the theme of it is RIM, please hurry up. Alright, and then now let's get to it. The theme of this rant is, like I said, hurry up RIM, and that's because, well, they need to, otherwise they're just going to fall into oblivion. I mean, yeah, some of the new handsets like the Bulb 9900, they're catching up. I mean, it's got a good capacitive touchscreen with that sure press. Yes, it's got a 1.2 GHz processor. Yes, it can record 720p. But those specs are old. I mean, we're in 2011 now, we're getting 1080p video recording. We're getting really high-res touchscreens. I mean, I'm not sure by heart, but I think the resolution is 640 by 480. So I think that's VGA, and that's quite low. I mean, yeah. So I said we have cameras that can record 1080 now. We have the Retina display, and we have QHD, which is like QHD is 960 down by 540 across, and you got to think like, wow. We also have dual core processors. I mean, we have 1 GHz and 1.2 GHz dual core processors. So that's like the Galaxy S2 or the HTC Sensation. They're like another core. It's like having two 9900s. They're just... So yeah, RIM's, it's getting there with the good capacitive touchscreens. It's getting there with the good HD recorders. It's getting there with the fast processors. But it's still lagging behind. I mean, one of the best things they ever did was, I ever think, is the Playbook, where they totally moved away from their old operating system and focused on a new one built on QNX, or Connect as some people say it. And that's good, it's new. You can still see sort of remnants of the old system, like when you're on the home screen, just like slide sideways through the panel, so you've got all, frequent, media, all those. That's like nice few hints of Blackberry OS 6 and now OS 7. But you have sort of like hints from other companies as well, like the multitasking is blatantly WebOS. If you put like a touchpad next to a Playbook, you'd go, wow, who copied who? But and lots of people would actually say, well, RIM, HP copied RIM because the Playbook was out first. But WebOS has had that since 2009, when it was, when WebOS was released, it had that multitasking implemented, and I still think it is the best operating system if you want to do true multitasking. You can run, like, I think, on the Pre 3 that's coming out, you've got a 1.4 GHz single core processor. I mean, that's not exactly cutting edge, but I mean, it was, WebOS was fast on a single core 1 GHz. So add another 400 megahertz to that. I mean, you could have 50 apps open on the Pre 2. So imagine how many you can have on this. It's going to be like, what? It's going to be so fast. And the touchpad has a 1.2 gigahertz dual core processor. And the Playbook, yeah, they're getting there. The Playbook has a 1 gigahertz, I think it's a TIO map processor, and that is dual core as well. And RIM was like, yeah, we got the first dual core tablet. But it took them so long to ship it after they announced it. And that's partly why sales of the Playbook never really hit that high. I mean, it's the same with Motorola in the US and the Droid Bionic. They showed the Droid Bionic at CES in January, and people were like, that is so cool! I mean, they showed it next to the Motorola Atrix 4G, and the Atrix came out pretty quickly after CES, but there were so many rumoured release dates for the Droid Bionic, and then Motorola just said, alright, we're stopping it. We're scrapping the old design, and we're going to come out with a new one sometime around summer. And because of that, buzz has just gone from like up here, it's totally downhill. Because people were like, what's the Bionic? It's like, I mean, CS was 6 months ago. I can barely, unless I look at images, I can barely remember what the Bionic looks like. And it shouldn't be like that. I mean, yeah, the Galaxy S2 has been out for a few weeks, but since its unveiling at CES, I never forgot what it looked like because it was so iconic. I always saw ads for it, and I was like, this is cool, this is an iconic design. And it's just, RIM needs to hurry up. They will fall, they're going to fall apart. They're probably going to end up getting bought by someone. I mean, there are so many rumours of like companies buying companies because they're going to go under. And I think the company that's really in trouble is RIM. I mean, yeah, they've got a massive business sector still, but that is slowly, it might be going away slowly, but it is slowly going away. And I think they've lost quite a bit of market share to the iPhone and Android since their inceptions in 2007 and 2008 respectively. So RIM can't carry on going, oh yeah, but we're great at business. Well, great, but lots of business people have a Blackberry for work and an iPhone for home, or they'll just have an iPhone for home, or like an Android device. So RIM needs to like stop resting on their laurels and come up with like a 2 GHz quad core, like 720p 4D display or something like that. So that's a total terrible wish list. I mean, I'd be happy, like as you know, I said before I said that, the 9900 and the Torch 2, two devices we know are coming. Techno Buffalo recently got some airtime with the Torch 2, which I'm not gonna lie, I would probably trade in my Curve for the Torch 2. And I only got this a few months ago, and I love this to bits. But the Torch 2 looks cool. It's nice, and it's probably going to come in other colours, but they got the silver one with like a weird checked pattern. The design is almost identical apart from the colour scheme to the original Torch, except it's got a higher res touchscreen, I think from 320 by 480 to 640 by 480. It's got OS 7, which has what RIM called liquid graphics, which is basically how it's sort of like the mobile Bravia engine in the newest Sony Ericsson phones. It's just how like when it's doing something graphically intensive, how smooth it all looks, how smooth everything is on your finger. There's like no lag, no stuttering. So that's pretty cool. It's also got a 1.2 GHz single core processor, and it can shoot a 5 megapixel camera that can shoot 720p. And I said, those are good specs, but those are last year's specs. So it's making me think, like, does RIM want to stay competitive? Does RIM want to stay in like the consumer market, or do they just want to focus on business? Because if they just focus on business, they're, like I said, not going to be around for long. I mean, I'm working myself up here. Totally forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah. The Torch 2 looks like a great bit of hardware. It looks like a great bit of software, sorry. But the hardware, though cool, is still severely lacking. Like I said, I'd be happy if the Torch 2 had a dual-core 1 GHz processor. I wouldn't care if it had a QHD or WVGA display. But I need it to be bigger than 3.2 inches. And it needs to slim down. I think it's like 13 point something millimeters. When we're coming out with phones like the Galaxy S2, which is 8.4 millimeters. So you can stack nearly 2 Galaxy S2s, and you can stack 2 Galaxy S2s, and it'd be a bit thicker than a Torch. And so why can't RIM innovate on that aspect? But I think the best thing is when RIM need to do what Microsoft did. They need to go, alright, the old OS is crap. No one really likes it. We need to go for something completely new. So Windows went with the Metro UI and Windows Phone 7. I think that's what RIM need to do with QNX. They need to have QNX as the base of the base of the operating system, and with a completely new user experience on top, with true multitasking like it is on the Playbook, which is obviously a blatant rip-off of WebOS, but still, I digress. That seems to be the most common way to do multitasking anyway. So, Though, actually, before I cut off this video, I have heard that RIM has a QNX powered Blackberry Slate device. Yeah. RIM has a Blackberry powered Slate device on the horizon, which they're in testing right now. So, for better or for worse, that could either spell the end for RIM or the new beginnings. So the theme of this video was Hurry Up RIM, and I hope you can see why. This is Dom from mobiledom.co.uk. You can hit me up on Twitter, twitter.com/mobile_dom. You can get me at the website, mobile-dom.co.uk, or you can email me for phone consultations at domenico@mobile-dom.co.uk. Until next time, guys, peace.